We'll start but before going to that four steps, let us just brush up what is digital marketing and strategy and what are the important aspects of digital marketing. I think you guys already know a digital marketing strategy is a series of actions which enables you to use various online marketing channels to achieve a specific objective. So it's not what you do; it's more of what all you are going to do to achieve your specific objective. No, in fact, when we come to the strategy, digital especially, there is a lot of confusion among people that they think, or at least to whoever I have interacted with, sometimes there is a confusion between campaign and strategy. So doing a campaign is not a strategy, and doing n numbers of campaign, different campaigns again is not a strategy. So strategy has to be coercive. So different campaign have to be combined in a very coercive form so that it leads to achievement of an objective. So let us see what are the differences basically. So strategy, as we know, is a plan of action to achieve a desired goal or multiple goals. In fact, if we see the example, like suppose the example, what we can say is we want to generate 25% more leads on the website via vis-a-vis last year, whereas campaign are the building blocks or action which within the strategy that move toward achieving that goal. So that is the basic difference. Now, if you see the example, so example is that we may decide to have a campaign sharing some of the best performing content on Twitter or any other such platform, social media platform, which ultimately leads to more lead generation through that channel. So that campaign is a part of strategy, which ultimately leads to lead generation. So our goal is lead generation, and doing a campaign on Twitter is leading to the achievement of that goal. So that is the basic difference when it comes to digital marketing strategy and digital marketing campaign. So now coming to the basic 5 Ds of digital marketing. So this is very important because when we talk about digital marketing, it's not only, as I said, social media or SEO or any other technical tool which is available. So we need to see comprehensively what it all entails. Like digital marketing strategy combines of digital technology, digital data, digital channels, digital metrics, digital devices. So this all has to be considered when we are strategizing any digital marketing strategy. So digital technology, there are various types of technology which are available as of now. It can be different examples are there. Similarly, data wise also, if we see, there are many sources of getting that data, digital channels or these social media and any other such channel. Digital metrics also, now there are various sources to get the metrics for our whatever campaigns or whatever actions we are doing online. Similarly, digital devices also, whether suppose if you talk about a website, so it has to be optimized for your laptop, your or maybe your phone. So now there are many companies who are moving to mobile first. So means they are basically targeting the mobile kind of customers who are usually interacting through mobiles rather than going on a website and any other such kind of devices. So these are the basic components which leads to digital marketing. Now, coming to the basic principles of digital marketing, now the first principle we will be talking about is the consumer journey. For example, if I want to purchase something, I will do a search, then I will get some results, and from those results, I will be going clicking or various things. So there are various touch points where a consumer or where a customers can go directly or indirectly. So it's kind of, if you look, the consumer journey, it's not linear. When we talk about physical thing, it's more of a linear, but when it comes to digital medium, it's not that linear. The consumer journey online is very complex. So what we do as marketeers, so now that we know that consumer journey is complex, what we do, I hope everybody must have played in their childhood this snakes and ladder game. So what we do, we remove more of snakes and add more of ladders, so that customer reaches to a certain point which we want him to do, where we want him to go. So that is where that concept of adding ladder comes, and it can be done through a UI UX. So we can optimize our content that there also through various means. So by that also we can do. So the ultimate goal is to make a person who is searching something which is related to our business be going to our website or wherever we want him to go. Now, when we talk about consumer journey, there are three consumer moments of truth. This basic concept was coined in mid 2000s, where by P&G. Actually, it came through Procter and Gamble, and they actually conceptualized this kind of online moments of truth of a customer's journey. So, which had, like, if we talk about what 3 points are, so zero moment of truth, first moment of truth, and second moment of truth. Of course, later on, Google also did some changes as per their research pattern. The people who were searching data or wanted to buy something, so they added on in this. So if you see, the first point is zero moment of truth. This is the point where a person is searching for information about a brand or a product. So suppose if I want to purchase a shoe, so maybe I want to buy a shoe, but there can be some other people who want to be very specific. They only want to buy Nike shoes, so they will mention it like that. So that is the first moment of truth. Then from zero moment of truth, then person goes to the first moment of truth, that is choosing a product at the store itself. So that is where the product gets chosen. Then it comes to using a product and deciding whether to buy it again. So now this involves more of a review and other things. So it's post purchasing of that product. So Google took these concept, and then they also modified a little bit, and then they presented in a very comprehensive form. So the basic thing which we need to understand is there are three moments of truth, and we need, whenever we design any campaign, we do anything keeping consumer journey in mind. These are the basic three touch points where we need to be focusing on. So this was that time. But then again, as we know that it's, when it comes to online, it's all about in the mind. Like, different people, they have different mind states. So now if you see, in fact, this is one step ahead. This concept was given by Fitch, and here they theorized that different people, they are at some or the other point, there are different mind states. So they projected 3 or 4, in fact, mind states. The first one is dreaming, then exploring, then locating, and then experiencing. So we need to understand this, what I'm talking about, in the sense, like, keeping in view of consumer journey. Fitch postulated that people who are coming online want to buy something, they are basically in these 4 mind states. So if you talk about dreaming, so dreaming, we can relate it to being inspired, learning, having fun. So this is like the stimuli, what a person wants to do. It is that kind of state where the person is thinking, what should I do going online? So then exploring. So once the person has thought of that, okay, I will do this or I will do that, then he starts browsing for information related to that subject or that topic. That means he's narrowing down his choices. So that is the stage of exploring. And then comes locating. So locating is, once he has narrowed down the choices, then he goes finding out, okay, where I can go and I can look about all these things. So this is, it's like coming down a funnel. And so you start big and then slowly narrowing it down. And then after this ultimately leads to experiencing, which you can relate it that it is more of a post purchase of the product. So it can be like active community, getting most out of that particular product. So that kind of mind state can be there in a person. So if we extrapolate, or if we juxtapose this journey with the previous journey, or what we do actually online is, so dreaming is, suppose if we want to bring traffic to our particular website or app or whatever thing we are having in mind, so we need to start with the dreaming state. Then trial. So after traffic is the trial, if we want to have them try certain things. Then of course after both the things, it leads to transaction. Transaction basically is like person purchasing the product or whatever business or solution which we are offering. Then of course once he has purchased or he has utilized our services, then the normal thing is that it leads to satisfaction of his that particular mind state. So this is basically the new age consumer journey, which was more of a relating to the mind state of a person, and it was basically coined by Fitch company. Now coming to the second principle, this is the new age of media. And new age of media means, now if we see, earlier when we used to talk about media, either it was print or it was more of a video, that means television kind of media. But now if we see, we have paid, we can categorize the available media. Basically, this is called as PSO model. So P stands for paid. For example, advertising or any other paid campaign which we do through Google or any other social media is comes into this paid media. Then comes earned. Earned is the most effective kind, if we can say, because it evolves around your product reviews, community discussion. So this gives a solid kind of platform for your product. So if I am a consumer, I have already used, and if I am supporting that particular product, or if I am giving a good review about that product, so it really has a very good effect on the other person who is going to for the purchase. Now there is some shared media. So what it all contains, sponsored content. This basically is the content what we talk about. And also partnership. We can have somebody's, so suppose if we are having a kind of a, what you say, if I am a manufacturer of socks, I have a firm which manufactures socks, I can maybe put a ad on a shoe company kind of site or their app or whatever it is. So it's kind of partnership, so it complements both, and maybe they can put an ad on my platform because both are complementary to each other. So that comes into shared. And then this is the basic website which the person operates, or where the person has to go. Social media pages, so and apps, mailing lists. So these are basically owned media, and one has to be the first hand owner of these things, because this every now and then you want to have some kind of update, so you can't depend on others. So basically that's why it is named as own. So you need to have it on your own. So that is the basic thing about these website. You can't have a third party having operating your website. So it's always better if you are the owner of your website, because then you know what to do and what not to do when it comes to your website. So this is basically the PSO model. Now, if we see, brands have to act like publishers. So this is basically the advice or my say going ahead. Now, brands can't simply thinking about, okay, we put an ad here, we put an ad there, and the thing will be done. So it's not like that, because it's people are spending huge amount of time online, accessing various kind of information, and so the life of a particular content or for a particular ad online is very minimal. So you need to have a publisher kind of mindset to keep on publishing information about your product. It can be a video, it can be a content, it can be a blog, it can be anything. But the basic premise is that you need to keep doing it effectively and regularly. So for example, if you guys might have seen this, Red Bull, we all know what it is. So Red Bull, they have their particular site where if you go, and you can I have put the link also, if you can just have a look on this. They have so many things, though they are basically an energy drink kind of a company. Their main product is that. But if you go and see, so they have different community platform, they have magazines, they have adventure blogs, and they have a lot of things. So you ask, and almost like whatever you search, and they might be there. So ultimately the point is that if I am searching for adventure, so I may get a link or something which may lead me to Red Bull kind of environment. So where they get a touch point to talk about their product. So the main thing is that we need to act like, or the brand has to act like a publisher rather than an advertising kind of a thing which was earlier being done. A kid, maybe in the range of 5 to 10 years. So I have something which I am a toy maker. So my target audience is 5 to 10 years, which but now 5 to 10 years is my target audience. But normally that kind of audience don't do the purchasing. So that purchase is done by their parents. So all these things we need to keep in mind while developing those personas. But this is a basic thing, because normally what I have seen, in fact I have experienced also, many people they simply go into, okay, एक Google ad, we want to have a Google ad campaign, so do the campaigning this, so we will have this demographic, this is a target audience, and simply we will go for it. But it has to be detailed, and when it has to be detailed, the personas are the is the main thing where we need to rely on. Now this is digital marketing funnel. So this is more or less many a place you might have already seen this kind of thing. So now there is digital marketing funnel, there is a digital sales funnel. So marketing funnel, if you see, it starts with visitor, then follower, then website visitor, content reader, lead, prospect, customer, repeat customer, brand advocate. So this is, if you see why it's called funnel, because it's basically a funnel shape, and which means that you start big, there are many people at the top, and when you move to a different level, the number goes down. So it's like kind of inverted pyramid, if you can say. Now, coming to this four-step digital marketing platform which we were talking about. So, the main aspect of this is how we go about making a digital marketing strategy. So, the first one is analysis, then comes objectives, then it's about segmentation, then it's about personas. So, of course, this is something which I actually basically did it when I was going through my course in Great Learning. I did my 6 months course from this Great Learning, and the faculty there was fantastic, and they taught us some real life or with real example how to go about it. So we were given different kind of projects, and we did those projects. So it's amalgamation of basically all those things. So digital marketing strategy, what I am going to discuss, is basically based on analysis, objective, segmentation, and the last part, personas. So analysis, if we talk about, there are many methods of analysis. So it's more of, if you talk about, there is Pestel, then there is D-Step, then there is SWOT, then there is Porter's 5. So there are many ways based on which we can do the data. We can analyze a market situation. We can analyze our goal or whatever objective we are having in our mind. So here what I have done is I will take you through the SWOT. So SWOT, of course, basically everybody knows that it contains strength, weakness, opportunities, and threat. So strength is something, what we need to put it here is whatever we are doing right. So currently, if I am in a business, I must be doing something to market my business or my product. So I need to identify whatever things which are working for me. So those are my strength. So those I will put it in this strength part of the SWOT. Then comes the weakness. So weakness is all about whatever things we are doing as a business, but they are not able to fetch those kind of results, whatever it is expected. So that means basically they are reducing our ability to win the market or win the customer. So those kind of aspects we need to put it in this quadrant of the SWOT. So opportunities are something which give us hope that okay, in future we can do much better from whatever we are doing currently because of this reason. So maybe there might be a market expansion, there might be some legal, some governmental some support which may lead again wider acceptance of that particular product. So all those aspects come into the opportunity. Then we have threats. This quadrant we talk about factors that could lead to the failure of or the business whatever we are doing. So this quadrant we need to put all the factors which can have a negative impact on our business. Now coming to the objectives normally again, my practical, whenever I have seen people making objective or defining objective, it's like okay, we want to do that, but there is a particular way to go about it, and what basically I use is this SMART kind of framework. So your objective has to be specific, it has to be measurable, it has to be attainable, and it has to be relevant and time based. So if any one of thing is not present in your objective statement, I think somewhere it may not give you that kind of result, or whatever you do may not give you that kind of result because something is missing at the start itself. So objective needs to be very well defined. So what is this SMART framework? So specific means what is the exact objective you want to achieve. So it's like I want to convert so many people in that much of time frame. So that it gives a specificity that okay, I am aware about how many customers in a month I want to convert to my brand or to my product. Then the second aspect is measurable. So how measurable basically is whether we can measure that objective or measure the outcome of that objective. So we need to know how will we achieve and when we will achieve. So that is the aspect which we need to incorporate in while putting down our objective. Then attainable. Okay, we need to be realistic enough that whatever we are defining or the objective is, whether it is doable or not. Though we may want to convert 1,000 customers in a day or in a week, but whether it is possible or not, depending upon the environment or depending upon the other competitor analysis what we do. So whether it has to be very attainable and it has to be realistic enough. Then what we talk about is relevant. So why this objective is relevant at this time. So that also we need to very clear in our mind. Time based, when do we want to achieve? And so as I said, that it has to be well defined time based. It can't be like, okay, we want to convert 1,000 customers, but maybe in a week's time, maybe in a month's time, and we are not aware what we want to do. So that also we need to take care that time has to be a part of our objective. So coming to the segmentation, when we segment the market, of course, segmentation can be done based on geographic, demographic, psychographic, and also the behavior of the customer. When we talk about geographic segmentation, the main points which we need to consider is what city they are residing in, the region, what they belong to, the size also of that particular market, whether it is going to fetch the required result. Climate also has an impact, while with some products, suppose if you are marketing some woolen clothes or something, so that also makes sense. Some communities which are very specific to or sensitive to certain things, so we need to be very clear on that, whether we want to market or we want to target those communities or not. Of course, countries also, we are sitting in India, whether we have that kind of supply chain, if we can supply to some other country or not. So depending upon all those things, we need to categorize our market or segment the market. When we talk about demographics, so age, of course, gender, so which gender it is for, it can be for both gender, age, of course. So normally we need to group that whatever we are doing or whatever solution we are providing, it will click with which kind of age group. Religion, of course, as we discussed about communities, so same way religion, there are some things which are very sensitive to many religions, so we need to take care of that. Then income also, whether the product is suitable for that particular income group or not. Education plays an important role. So all these things we need to define while defining any strategy, because this will lead to your ultimate campaigns which you are going to utilize for doing campaigns, whether it's social media, whether it's ad campaign on Google. So these things will ultimately lead you there. When we talk about psychographics, so budget, beliefs, values, pain points, attitude, social, cultural roles, activities, all these are points which we need to basically define in our when we are doing the segmentation. Behavior wise also we can do the segmentation. So what are the hobbies of our target customers? They have any specific habits which we want to target on? Their purchasing styles, social media use, what are their favorite channels of social media where they focus on, so that maybe we can place our ads there. Mobile phone use, media consumption, so all these things which we need to focus on while we are segmenting the target audience. And then comes the last part, that is building the buyer personas. So buyer personas, as we have already discussed, so what, who, why, and how are the main pillars, are the basic criteria or basic pillars where we can build personas. So background, if we talk about, of course, we have discussed demographic, geographic, psychographic. These are the basic points which we need to consider while we are developing a background for a particular persona. So suppose if I am talking about myself, I am the customer and I want to build a persona about, somebody wants to put a persona about myself. So then what he needs to do is, what is the demographic? So which area I belong to? What is my mind state? What goes on, or what kind of searches normally I do on net? Or how is my behavior online? So all these things will become a part of my background in terms of persona. Problem. So Here we need to finalize, or maybe here we need to fine tune a list of problems which we can solve for that particular customer. This is basically where we finalize the positioning statement as we do in traditional marketing. So what is the need and what is the gap, so it's, and how we are going to fill it up with our solution. Goals, again, it determines what we want to do, or what the person want to do. So that is the main thing. Determine the buyer's motivation, whether he wants to purchase it now or not. So that goal also we need to be very specific of, that whether it's related with the moment of truth, whether he is at 0 or first or second level. So benefits, of course, whatever solution or whatever product we are offering, so whether there is any benefit out of that or not, so that we need to relate it with our product in the customer's mind. So customer need to identify the benefit that we are providing, so they need to understand that thing, and we should be able to project it in that way. Objections, this is again, when we are developing any personas, we need to be prepared early itself that what kind of objections we might be getting from those kind of personas or those kind of customers, and how we are going to tackle it. So this contain maybe 6 to 7 FAQ, frequently asked question, which normally a buyer will ask before purchasing this our product. So this is what I wanted to discuss about when we talk about digital marketing strategy.